Welcome back, everybody. Here we go again. When the sun comes up, we're going to do a little bit of base building, and then we're looking for metal. That's our priority. Need to get a battery into that. Right. In the battery? Maybe not. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing, basically. No battery. Okay. Some strange Russian scope without a battery. No point doing an altar. I'm going to need some planks. I'm going to need a door to start with. The kit. Door. What we're going to do is basically wall off access to a greenhouse so we can grow things in there safely. Do I have any 5.45 ammo? Oh, chuckles. You'd be moving things. Right, bring them down to there. Right, 300. 9mm armor piercing. That's hardly. And 76254. And 76239. Then 556. Then 5.45, but probably sits about there. So if we pop that up, that'll mean above the 300 or 308. Sorry, we've got a chance to fit in higher caliber if we get it. That sits about there. 2.2 sits at the bottom of the pile. I'd say shotgun, then 9mm. I'd say that's better. And that leaves space for other stuff. That's good. Get this mag fully loaded. Not an everyday carry. So we need 30 sheets of metal to build what I want to build. So metal is our big priority. I have a map on me. Map, I'm doing a pen, so map. Need to mark where we are. Come on. No, I haven't got a pen on me. Aha, where did I leave the duty pen? Family fresh. Message deleted by looting goblin. View deleted message. Okay. Thank you for the raid, Family Fresh. I don't know why it deleted that automatically. It shouldn't have done. Thank you so much for the raid. Massively appreciated. We're just waiting for the server restart. So you've come in at a really bad time. Ah, that's why it didn't like it. Lots of capital letters. It had a heart attack. But thank you for the raid, guys. Yeah. Basically, we're waiting for the sun to come up. Can't do a lot till then. Which will be after the restart. Your bot is on point. Yeah, I know. I was like, what's he up to? Hope you're well, brother. Bring over the rest of my stream to help you out. Thank you. That's so appreciated. So we're going to be blocking in one of these greenhouses so we can grow vegetables on the server without them being stolen. Oh, it will massively help. Thank you. As you know yourself. But we can't really do anything until the sun comes up. And then we need to go and find metal. No. Have you been playing DAYZ yourself? I love this spot on the map. It's awesome, isn't it? So I'm thinking like putting that there would give me a greenhouse that we can code lock. That was my thoughts on it. What do you mean you can't build there? Don't be so stupid, computer. Of course we can. We have a flag. See? It's the flag. I'm gonna need some wood. Some nails. Where's it put them? We deleted them, no my luck. Some nails. And some logs. Oh yes, Xbox since it has come out, and I've got my first week down for PC. Awesome. PC is just, it is a different experience as you know. And so many different choices. Once you get into the modded side of it. I need a 4. So one of those on there. Put that on there. Put that away. Yeah, you actually do. Hardcore remembering the last 2 days thanks to other streamers. Excellent. That's really good. Right, we'll go out and do some building. We've got a restart in about 3 minutes. And then once restarts happen, the sun will come up and things can get back to normal. But at the moment, it's a little bit dark out here. Oh, how surprising. We can't climb a step when we've got stuff on us. There we go. Hi, monkey. Attach that. Attach that. Attach that. Build door frame. It's way difficult in so many levels. Yeah. And we'll build door. Now, if we grab that out and bring them out, that should still have flag protection. It has. That means whatever we're growing in the greenhouse belongs to us. Once we've got the code lock on it, which is important. So I can't have Monkey coming around and helping himself to food, can I, Monkey? There we go. I have my own greenhouse. You can't climb through the windows. You can't drop through the ceiling. Yes, we can be shot through it, but it's solid. That's that problem solved. Hi, Restless. Hi, Monkey again. I can trade some food for tyres. Oh, we've got plenty of food, mate. We're fine. We're okay. We're all right. We're doing okay. Our little house is perfectly fine. I need metal. That's what I need. I'm after 20 sheets of metal. I've got some, but I need more. So yeah, 20 sheets of metal would be really, really useful at the moment. But after the restart, we'll be going metal hunting. We've got water with us. We don't need to take any more food. We've slept. We've got a knife. We've got the kit. I haven't got the pen with me, have I? The duty pen? No. But we'll be going metal hunting. Realistically. Yeah, metal got around 100. Well, if I find any tyres, we might be able to come to a deal then, Mr. Monkey. I did find one tyre the other day, but I have no interest in having a bike, so they're not needed by me. But I think if I get enough metal, I'll be able to put an ISO container in, like down here. That's my aim anyway. And then the container will become really useful. Because then I can turn the kitchen into there and gun storage and the rest of the shit, rather than rely on these boxes. And we can turn these boxes back into planks and nails to use for the base. There we are. So restart. Right, guys, we will be back after the restart to continue. And while that's happening, let's go to Family Fresh Gaming's channel and subscribe. Family Fresh, you have a sub. So thank you for the raid. Massively, massively appreciated. You said lurkers. I get the same in the morning. When I come on UK morning times, like early morning, I just end up with loads of lurkers sat here. But it's great. Lurkers are brilliant. Never complain about lurkers. And the server we're playing on currently, it should be coming up on the screen for everybody now. Just wait for the server to come back up, and then we'll go out metal hunting. So it is a nerfed loot, harder survival server. It's not hardcore, but harder is a fairer way of putting it. It has between a 60 and 90% nerf of all loot. It's duos, base building, raiding. There's a weapon pack in, key cards, various things to do. I'll be leaving you a sub and lurking buddy. Thank you, family. I've dropped you a sub, but that's massively appreciated. And basically that's what, yeah, it started off for me to make content on 2 years ago, and people asked to play. So here we are 2 years later with a server that's got sort of between 10 and 15 active players. Normally weekly events of some type I put on there, and I play the server as well. But when I play it, apart from tidying the base, I play it on stream. God bless, and do your thing, man. You're great energy. Thank you. Massively appreciated. And yourself. I'll watch some of your content. I will tune in when I go to bed tonight and catch up on some of your content. So thank you for being here. It's massively appreciated. And this is what we do. We play DayZ on this server. Monkey, who's in the chat, is a member of the server. Plays on a lot. Oh, and it's crashed again. There we go. How surprising. Every time I try and rejoin after a restart, it crashes for me. But hey, that's life. That's DayZ for you, innit?
New subscription received. Dispensing gratitude.
Thank you for the follow. Massively appreciated. 701. Here we go. The road to 1,000 gets closer. Thank you. That's really appreciated, Dale. And I tend now to really only stream weekends. I'm quite busy through the week. So occasionally get a Monday night out of me. But Friday nights, Saturdays, not always Sundays. Tomorrow I'm away training. It is what it is. Whereas I used to stream every night of the week. There you are. It's morning again. Thank God for that. Right then, let's get out of here. Let's go metal hunting. And my nice little door. Close that off because it feels better. Ready for growing things later on. We need to get ourselves a hoe. We do have seeds. So we are ready to grow some pumpkins. Oh, dreamer loot. Yeah. Also, we need to do a bit of key farming. So if we see a Z, let's always tap a Z. You never know. So we'll be off to find industrial. Woo woo, I was sub 701. Thank you, it's massively appreciated. Every sub is, as you know, in YouTube is hard work at times. It took me 2 years to get to this point. The first 50 don't count because the first 50 I wasn't really making any effort, and then I put 2 years in of part-time DAYZ streaming to get me here. You know, oh, dogs. I can't have a dog because I'm an admin on the server. It's my server, and whenever I teleport to help out somebody with a ticket, the dog dies. So unfortunately I don't get a dog, but that's all right. Oh, now that's a problem. Normally I just run that straight home, but I think that we've got enough of them at home that I can carry on going. But thank you for the sub, always appreciated. The road to 1,000 gets closer. Oh, hi dogs. Yes, if I was allowed a dog and you wouldn't disappear, I think I'd have you. Oh, and another one. Hello. We've got long grass in, as you can see, because we are 12 years after the outbreak. I have zombies that explode, which is an interesting feature. Some with explosives, some with gas. I have a few extra events. I have C-130s that crash and things like that. Obviously, you've seen base building on here. We raid with hacking tablets. The dogs are still dogging. No, that's maybe not the right word. And basically, as I said, we're going metal hunting, because that allows us to build the next bit of the base. You stay clear of zombies out at the moment. We're gonna go basically down probably this road and hit the industrial on the way down through. We're gonna go industrial looking for metal. We've got an AK of sorts. I'm not overly keen on that scope, you know. Prefer that. We have bombers that fly over the map and bomb areas. My zombies are standard zombies. We've got a few more military around. And we've got a heavy edit of the map. So there's 88 areas that have been edited. That's worth having. Let me just swap those two around because that's better. So we've edited the map, put in 88 new edits, new areas, as well as more loot around places and things to make it look like it's the end of the world. Oh, bugger. You need to find a map to be able to press M. Keys are on zombies. Rags are needed. You can rip up clothes with your hands, which is quite nice. You can make gun cleaning kits with fat and rags. Make sewing kits with rope and hooks. When you eat a tin, it drops. The tin survives on the floor for 20 minutes, so people can track where you've been. Or you can cut it into a metal hook. Don't need the animals. You can have a pouch on as well as a rucksack, so a shoulder pouch with a rucksack to give yourself extra storage. But it's at its heart, it's a survival server. And I play in a duo with Chuckles, who's US based, whereas I'm UK. And he works nights, so he's sleeping now. The long grass, obviously, because of the way BI renders things, doesn't work at distance. But it does make it look good up close. It doesn't have any effect. The zombies still see you through it. But if you and another player were close to each other, it could keep you hidden. But at distance, it's going to make no difference, unfortunately. I do have Rudolph running around the map, and the evil goat with the glowing eyes. For players that want to kill Rudolph. And I've got Sakau's fish on here as well. So if you fish off the coast, you've got a chance of catching Sakau fish. I put gas right round the border to stop people going into the dead zone or out of bounds. We have keys and quests, which is nice. Certainly can't complain. But as I said, metal is my problem now. We got on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us on at the moment. So it's not a massively popular server. And it's PvP, even though the map will try and kill you. No safe zones, no trader, nothing useful like that. Right, we're going home. And then we'll hit commence. Go home first, so drop the code lock off, sort our loot out. Then off to commence we go. Because I need that crate. Can't remember what's in it. I think it's just military, but probably 556 platforms. But I'm not running up there with a code lock on me as well. I need the storage space. We're about to go into hell. Good. Thank you for all for being here. Massively appreciated. So I've upped the amount of animals on the server. because we've lowered the food. Zombies still have food on them, but we don't have much food spawning in around the world anymore. So you have to hunt, shoot and fish, grow vegetables to survive. So it is me building a server that feels more like the world ended 12 years ago. No unlimited stamina, no auto run. We do have a quad bike on here, but they're hard to get all the parts for, as Monkey's hinting at all the time. And that's fine. Goes with the territory. But I'm living in my favourite bit of the map. Close to Tissy. A bit of a bitch to get to if you die. But still good. As I said, we're going to go home, drop off what we've picked up, and then push for commence. I see Dr. Cookie Monster's appeared in chat. If he appears in voice, then I'll be a bit more cryptic because we're not on the same team. But we might have a chat net just so we can chat as we're running around. You're not allowed allies on here. You can meet up with people and trade, but what you can't do is take other people into your base. And he would try and kill me. We have different spawn points on here. Rather than spawning on the coast, you spawn within 300 meters of a medical center anywhere on the map. And long wipes, so 12-week long wipes. And I'm pretty active in modding and looking after the server. But it doesn't appeal to everyone because there's not lots of loot around, because it's hard to get good weapons. There's more ammo than weapons to fire. Everything, no, it's not bad, not everything. 99.9% of stuff spawns in damaged or worse. Not a lot of gun cleaning kits, so it really does feel like the end of the world happened and your weapons are rusty and you might get a couple of shots before they jam. So you have to really get your gun cleaning kits together. Apart from in boxes, in crates, whatever you get is pristine. It's nice. Keys and key cards are zombie spawns at a low percentage, so they're hard to get. Apart from all players start off with a key for altar, which is like a starter box. Just give people a map and a pen and some water and a basic bag and a little bit of survival gear. Access to a 2-2 pistol. Got weapons named correctly because I hate things like Mlock in game and KA rifles. No such thing. The LAR is called a foul like it should be. Weather's quite nicely controlled. Oh, you bastard. So you get lots of heat like we've got now. Building up during the day and then a massive thunderstorm and then really bad weather. And then a restart and we start again. 7. Check that it's purified. It is. Let's get some bandage on. So as I was alluding to earlier, you can rip up clothes with your hands. So if I hold that in my hands, I can craft rags from it without using a knife. quite nice. And stick that away in here. That needs purifying. So the next person grabs a set, ready to go. Now, what do we need to leave behind? I need to leave the scope behind because I'm not a fan of that scope. I need to leave the code lock behind. That's done. I'll take that with me. Rope is fishing. Stay with fishing kit. Now I need to get the map marker. Because somewhere we've got that. So we need to mark where we're going. So we breach about here. $12K. Okay, my footwear's damaged, but we've got that with us. Drop the pen off. Beauty pen for everybody. Right, we're going to need another mag for the AK. In case it all goes wrong. Have we got one? We'll get AK-74. No. 762, 762. 5.45. That'll fit that. Good. I need some ammo for that. Reluctant to break open the new box unless I have to. Good enough for me. Don't need 2 stacks of rags. We'll carry the can of drink. We don't need the battery on us. I can drop those rags off. I'm going to buy them ready for the next person. Good, right, so we've got a little bit of storage, got a little bit of 2.2 ammo, not a lot, but a little bit, which is fine. We've got an emergency can of drink. We could do with some emergency food. That should be fine. We don't need the glow stick, but we'll carry it because nothing else is going to go there. I'm sort of happy with that as a setup. Not taking anything with me that's important. Will that fit in there? No, it won't. So we could triple carry home if we have to. Okay. Right then. Let's do it. The run to commence starts. We'll be on, guys, for a couple of hours tonight. I'm away on a training course tomorrow, so I want to get a good night's sleep. And we were on this morning for 6 hours when I first woke up. So we'll probably be on for 7:30 now UK, probably 9:30. I'd like to be in bed by 10. So I need to be up at 6. And we probably won't be on tomorrow night, but that's not a guarantee. We might be. Depends how the training's gone. It's a lot of tests to do tomorrow, so I might feel too drained. I might just sit down, have a pizza and watch a film. I'm here on the server. So the people I'm likely to bump into up here are Monkey and Restless. But we push on. You're going to call me out just like that? It's the truth, though. The people that I'm likely to bump into, let's be honest, are you and Restless. Other people aren't likely to be up in the north, are they? And it's not a bad thing, mate. You go all over the map, as does Restless. The others are more likely to be down south. Not a guarantee. You know, could happen at any point. But it's worth knowing what you're about to run into, isn't it? You know, if you open that up and there was 10 players on that were all heavy PvPers, I'd be like, You always have to check your odds. It makes no difference. I'm still going to go there because I'm running around with a key card for the place. The idea of collecting metal's gone. Oh, was that in chat? The two that were sleeping in there? Did you kill them both? The ones that were asking how to sleep, I think one of them was, wasn't he? How do I go about sleeping was the sort of question we were getting. You are kind to people. But as you said the other night, you like to play with people more. You're more likely to find people sleeping in a shed and then put a tripwire outside the door so when they wake up and leave, they cut themselves. Or leave a landmine outside the door for them so when they come out, they stumble onto the landmine. 92 on the other hand, kill on sight. 92's quite the player though, isn't he? Has too much luck on events. Far too much luck on events. You say kill on sight, but you also feed him, don't you? Knowing my luck now, I'll get a bear. Normally when I run this route, I get a bear about now. Yeah. Normally about now I bump into a bear. It's alright though. If it happens, it happens. The thing is, what he does is he dies and then respawns, re-gears and runs in at the end and wins the event. Yeah? Whereas I mean, I'd say I can't take part in events because I'm running them. But I tend to flank more, make use of ground, think about things a little bit, depending on how rushed I am. Also, when you're streaming, it changes your tactical sense to a certain degree because you don't want a boring stream. And the game is only semi-tactical, let's be honest, because in the real world, hit you with a 5.56, you'll be dead. And if I had to run 13Ks, I'm not going to be able to run 13Ks back, sprinting all the way, with the amount of loot that we carry. And 3D markers on the screen probably don't work in the real world. And let's be honest, if there was this many infected running around the land, somebody would have nuked it. I mean, I'm alright with Chernarus. I'm not so good with it this wipe because of the long grass and I'm playing it more. Last wipe I played a lot of Scum and just acted as an admin on the server, but I was a little bit burnt out with DAYZ. I needed that break. Which does happen for me occasionally. But I'm back on it now. Still got Scum installed, but now's normally when I find metal. Now I'm off on a keycard run. I'm hoping the base building mod I'm looking at for next wipe works. I won't know till I get to test it. And I can't test it until I get the new server at Christmas. Because it's looking awesome. It's quite nice when you're doing the event to sit in that bird's eye view and see what people's tactics are and how they're thinking. You know, you don't know how they're thinking, but you're seeing the routes they're taking and the decisions they're making. It's always frightening when you see two people really close to each other and they've not spotted each other. And that's an interesting point when you're like, there's going to be a firefight, there's going to be a firefight. They're 10 meters apart. They've gone different directions. It's very interesting. Why am I hot up here? Oh, I suppose it's just coming up to midday, isn't it, on the server? where Cookie and I used to live. In a different time. About 2 years ago, I think we lived in a house like that. But we did it again on down bad for a while, a bit further along and up. You bastard. Got a big collection of those chassis coming along. 12-gauge shotgun. Magazine fed. Not interested. For this little thing, I am. Need the barrel to go with it. We've got a mag, we've got the stock. We need the barrel now. Then we can make ourselves a rifle. Four and a half. Is that 4.5 or 6.5 Ks? I can't tell on the 4K screen. I think it's 4.5. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Fox. Do with a better rucksack out of this. But I have to be careful for landmines and bear traps up here. Don't like this. It's too open. Monkey, I've been laying them, so I'd expect you to do the same. I always put them in when you close the door and you get it just on where the door closes over the top and you can't see it. That's my sort of spot to put a landmine. We do have one in base that we're saving for a rainy day. I haven't found anyone's enemy base, any bases yet. But when I do find a base, I might visit and put a landmine next to their door for them. Not found a bear trap yet, but not really been looking for them either. Not been doing a lot of hunting. Stands. So if we, best case scenario, we're getting in here and getting out alive. Though I prefer to do this without the dog. It's a little nightmarish taking a dog in anywhere with you. I do need to get a dog for Chuckles though, at some point. He deserves his own pet pooch and base. Right, and I should come back the top route in case we get metal. Oh, now the map marker's gone. That's surprising. Cheers. You do sometimes find standalone bases up here. People do like to build on these rocks for some silly reason. I think they think they're the only person that's ever thought of it. I mean, good from a sniper perspective, but you'd have to spend so much time at home waiting for somebody to pass on the long out there that it would be boring. Oh, I think it would be boring. But each to their own, as long as people are happy to pay the server. What's going on at the moment? 6 of us. We had 8 on earlier. The 2 guys that were sleeping in the shed have left, but they might be back again. You know, they probably found it suddenly went very wet and very dark and very rainy and they needed sleep and they were like, what the hell do we do now? we're going to come up and then... How's my footwear? Fine. We'll sneak in and see how we get on. And hope that we don't bump into anyone too angry. The thing is, Monkey, you're on the server and you're playing, so I would hope that you and I didn't have a firefight. Otherwise, there would be a chance that it was stream sniping, if that makes sense. But I know that you wouldn't do that. The only thing you do that's suspect ever is your base building locations. But I know that now you ask if you think it's too silly, if you think it's going to be a risk, you ask permission first before you build. So that's fine. Or you say, is this all right? But I've had to write more extra rules. I'm not watching. But because you're in chat, you'd have to prove you weren't watching if you and I had a firefight. If that makes sense. I like you being here. I like having the interaction, but I also recognise the fact that if we bumped into each other, it could be seen as an issue. But I trust your judgment on that one. And I mean that. I do trust your judgment on that one. You know where I'm going, so... But from where we were when you were, I mean, your Deer Isle base was amazing. And if I ever play Deer Isle again on any other server that doesn't have that out of bounds, I will build there. That was just amazing. What? And were you aware of that spot beforehand, or was it just a lucky? Oh, look what I found moment. I used to play on a server called F35, and there was a team on there led by a guy called Spud, who used to always build glitched bases, and he was a nightmare. And the admins let him get away with it. He'd know where the rocks weren't properly formed, and he'd build bases inside. And because he had a big clan, he was sort of allowed to get away with it for far too long. Where the rest of us were building bases within the rules, and he was stretching the letter of the law to the very point of no return. Am I? I'll commence town. Okay. That makes sense. Hey, I've been lurking a bit, my friend. Thank you. Always appreciate a lurk. Always good to have someone lurking around. I'm not... I'll talk to my heart's content about what I'm doing and where I'm going and chat to people in chat. But I massively value lurkers. People can come in and sit there and not say a word. It matters not. The fact that they're choosing... Either they're choosing or they've fallen fast asleep to watch me. It's great. It does, doesn't it? It does make a difference. It makes it a different game. Well, not a different game, but it does look really good 4K. I didn't like the fact that we need water. Hopefully, there'll be a canteen inside this box. Thank you, family. Massively appreciated. It's a hard grind, though, isn't it? I saw you. I mean, you're 2.5 or so, you're over 2K. I only very quickly looked, but it is a hard grind. My first 500 were hard enough, but I got there reasonably quickly. Like within a year, and I've gone up 200 in another year. It's been a hard, but I've been busier with work. I've been streaming less. It's DAYZ. It doesn't appeal to everybody. You have to be a certain sort of person that wants to watch DAYZ content. But certainly streaming at weekends. I was streaming this morning to sort of averages of 20, which is good. I'm more falling asleep playing before. Yeah. It's that whole you start watching YouTube, something you want to watch, and then you wake up 5 hours later watching people build huts in the jungle, and have no idea how you got there. And then the algorithm thinks you want to know about huts. We all do it though. I don't tend to watch YouTube apart from when I'm in bed. I put YouTube on to fall asleep to. And I'd like to think that it would go through my people I've subscribed to, watching their content one after the other, but it doesn't, does it? It goes off and finds random shit for you. But the 4K does work on DAYZ nicely. For an old game, it does 4K well. Right then, we're just shy of the camp. Right then, let's drink some water and hopefully find a crate. Now, these crates in here do move, so there is no guarantee it will be where I expect it to be, which is good. I'll just examine it. Just commence military. Okay. Now, let's... And the server we're on, if anyone is interested, is coming up on your screen now. It is a PC server. I should do, but I've not done the commence crate yet. This wipe. Because last wipe it was an industrial crate monkey, as you know. Also a base building crate, where this time it's more military. Stay clear of that barbed wire on a Goblin server. Hi, Restless. Cookie wouldn't believe that I'd be going in here. I was meant to be metal hunting tonight, but it's not happened. I'm not taking you up on that bet. I know how important tyres are for you. I lost my Scar H this morning when we were killed, Chuckles and I. Cruelly murdered by zombies at Green Mountain. Cruelly. I was taken out by the Zeds at Green Mountain. Picked the wrong route in. Lost weapons. Both of us got killed. Lost the key for Green Mountain. And then I spawned quite close, and when I got back there, my body had despawned. Which was really annoying. I blame the server owner. Yeah, it's not placing the loot in there at all correctly. It's putting that weapon in first and then it's fucking off everything else. And I don't know how to deal with that at the moment. Oh, Green Mountain. Yeah, that's going to become the new... After next wipe, that's going to become where the base building crates are, rather than Nova. Because Nova's too easy to get in and out of. So, the Green Mountain will become Sawmills or Green Mountain. Rather than Nova. Rather than Sawmills or Nova. I'm quite interested in how that will change the dynamics of the server. It's meant to be a trader. That's what it was made for, which is why it's replaced my altar. So whereas we used to have altar being really difficult to get in and out of, that's what Green Mountain's become, which is why I want to make those crates the base building crates, because it's a bitch. It was easier going in solo than it was going as a duo. I would hate to go in there with a dog. Fucking tree. Like that crate there was just a bitch. You get an M16 and a load of single mags that only hold 10 rounds each. It's like, you bastard, Goblin. You complete bastard. But that's pretty worth it. Nice S10. Find me a bag while you're there. Mate, find me a bag. Thanks, family. That feels too much like a landmine placement. I'm actually after metal to build a container for my base, which is why I was coming here. And we had a key card. And Tissy's really close to home. So, but Tissy for a rucksack makes sense. Getting an Alice pack would make a... would make a lot of sense, but drop this gear off first at home. That'll do. I think we'll get this loot home and then we'll look at Tissy. But be careful of barbed wire on my server because it cuts you. Let's get this stuff home first. Could do with Chuckles being awake because he's got a 100-round mag for the M4 or an M16 on him that he found earlier. We can just take one mag then rather than like 10. Do with some armour as well because I've got ruined plate, a ruined stab vest at the moment, and that's it. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. We're doing all right. We're still alive. Touch wood. But Tissy's not a bad shout at all. Only because I'm so close to where it is where I live. Even Tissy for metal, because people just don't go to Tissy. Take up the 16. I think we've got a silencer at home that'll fit it. Leave the AK behind. Leave the 2-2 pistol behind. Take a sharp knife. Eat before we go. Don't need to take food because we're really close to home. Water's going to be a bit of an issue, but we've got water at home that I can purify. How's my footwear? I'm doing all right. Footwear's a bitch to find on here, as are leather repair kits. You can make them. 2 tanned leather and a metal hook. But every crate's got one in it now to make it so at least players have a chance, if they push a crate, of repairing their footwear. Because one wipe we did, probably last wipe, beginning of last wipe, I had hardly any spawning in, and everyone was just getting fucked up all the time, and it was making the server probably too difficult. I like your thinking, THC. The only person I have ever robbed or done anything silly with is Restless. About 2 wipes ago, probably. Maybe the beginning of last wipe. I bumped into him, or he bumped into me when I was pinned down by zombies. And I killed him with the scorpion, of all things. And then I didn't know it, but he was running back as I was leaving that location. And I bumped into a player, which was him. And he was like, oh, it's Goblin again. Don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. And I was like, right then. Take all your clothes off. Leave them in a pile. Now fuck off. But by me doing that, he then took amazing risks and got some key cards and got some good loot. And I got a key that allowed me to get base building stuff to build a base. So, it worked out in the best for all of us. I'm normally a shoot first person. I very rarely... I think because I played prior to this Rearmed, Aftermath, Down Bad, where you don't tend to make friends. And if you try and talk nicely to people, you get shot. It teaches you to not be very nice. I do like the idea of double-crossing people, though. That does appeal. I like the humour in that. And it's DayZ, isn't it? It's meant to be... The only rule is to survive. How you do that's up to you. Sorry, Restless, it was you, wasn't it? We need food. We'll go for the tack back just because it's taking up a lot of space and it's heavy. But we're going to need to go home first and drop off this little lot. Work out if we've got a better mag for the M4 than 10 round mags. It was though, Restless. It worked, didn't it? But you really enjoyed this wipe because of the amount of interactions you've had on the server. You said you've had more interactions this wipe than any other, and you've been probably about a year now, probably-ish, that you've been playing Goblin servers. Probably about a year ago I mentioned F-35 in chat, and you were like, yeah, I used to play that. And then we worked out we knew some of the same people, and you thought you'd give the server a go. And I dragged you kicking and screaming into being our media officer. You'll probably get more next wipe as well, because we're going to make it so cold on the server and so snowy that it's going to be very difficult for players who survive without sharing warmth of a fire. It's going to be hardcore, horrible hardcore winter. But that'll only happen once a year. The rest of it will be this or cold, but not freezing. It's a cow cold. But we're going to make it Namausk January cold for next wipe. With a proper snow covering. So people have to, if you light a fire, it'll be seen for miles. And you're going to have to think a lot more about where you light your fires to. We might even add the Namausk mechanics so you build up frost resistance. I don't know yet. But it might be a short wipe so we can get everything on track for the year. Again, I don't know. Depends how long it takes me to build it. If I can get the server up and running in a week with everything I want, then we'll probably go live straight away. Because most stuff's tested, because we've got it on here, and because we're going to a new provider, I can just drag the files across on my desktop, download from one, upload to the other, and I know they'll work. Just the new stuff that needs testing and my new way of hopefully making the server work, which is the biggie. Rather than loading it at the moment, it loads as a multiplayer mission, so empty underscore or full stop Chernarus, but Deer Isle works as empty full stop Deer Isle, and I'm wondering whether I can do a empty full stop Goblin summer or winter, and then then that becomes a file that DAYZ will load, the mission file, because if that works. Yeah, exactly. How much will that break everything? Because if that works, it means that when BI roll out an update, it will be like Deer Isle, where Deer Isle gets the update to the game mechanics, but it doesn't wipe or change any of the files. So it means that updates will be a lot quicker, and it won't involve me scratching my head and leaving stuff out. So, top of my head, I don't know without looking at it, but I'm more than happy to drop you a message about that afterwards. My upload is 35,306 at the moment, so my upload is 40,000 up to kilobits per second, and that's what helps. And then I'm running a 4070 Super TI Super TI, whichever way round it is. I wouldn't say I'm extremely educated, but I'm a geek. I'm a massive geek. Love running a server. Love being able to stream games at 4K. So I was streaming on a 3080, and DayZ was fine, but Grey Zone, it wouldn't do 4K at over... I'd be lucky to hit 60 FPS in the early days of Grey Zone. So I moved across to the 70 Super TI, and it has no problem at all. I can get about 120 FPS in... Actually, I had a good deal. In all honesty, I had a good deal. So, somebody I now know reasonably well, I'm friends with on Facebook. We have conversations. I put my 3080 up for sale, and he bought it off me at half the price that my 4070 Super TI cost. Geeks rule the world. Yeah. So, and I got the 70 Super on like a week after release at RRP. Again, a good deal, done well. Set my alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning, so I knew which company got stock in at 3 in the morning. And as soon as they had it on there, I bought it. Next day delivery. But I didn't put it into a system for ages. It sat here. And then I sold the 80 on. The guy bought it, paid half that I paid for my 4070. He got a good deal. I was happy with my deal. I then overclocked my 4070 to just under 4080 spec. So again, happy with that. But my OBS settings are mainly, it's about my upload. I needed the upload where I'm currently living to be able to stream at 4K. In where I used to live, and I had shit upload, I had like 5,000 upload if I was lucky, and I had a 3060 Ti in those days. In DayZ, at 2K, if it was raining at night, I would just be stuttering all over the place on stream. I used to log out at night. It was the only way I could have a good stream. It's only now that I'm talking and I'm being not very tactical. It's only now that I've started to build a system to where I wanted it. But also, this is the first time I've ever had my PC to a point where I don't want at the moment to upgrade it. You know, that took a long time and a lot of money. It would be a lot easier to play on Xbox or PlayStation, but I can't use a controller to save my life. And I love this modded world. I love all the weird and wonderful shit you can do. I love the fact that I can turn DayZ into the game that I've always wanted. Which is this sort of more survival, end-of-the-world PvP environment than the base game. I hate the fact that vanilla DayZ has no roof when you're building things. Detest it. Now, why give us walls and watchtowers and all that sort of stuff, but not give us the mechanics to build a roof? It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, we'll do walls, we'll do gates, we'll do upgradable walls and gates, we'll do a watchtower, we'll do a way of standing behind the wall to shoot over the top. What about a roof? Nah, nobody will want that. Right then, that's base building done. Let's move on. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. Because in the real world, if you were building, you'd put a roof over the top of your little base. I'm not that far from home. But I'll send you the settings over afterwards. I'll send you a message. I think we can do messages in YouTube, can't we? Maybe not. What I'll do is I'll comment on one of your videos with what my settings are, if you want me to. I'm more than happy to do that. Send you a screenshot if need be. But it is mainly the bandwidth. If you've got a good enough upload, you can do 4K. And not so much now, but a year ago, a year and a half ago, when I mentioned 4K in streams, I would get a lot of people coming in going, whoa, you're streaming DayZ at 4K, that's amazing. Whereas a lot of the big players now are also streaming DayZ at 4K. One of my reasons to move, you're good regardless, brother, I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to join your Discord also, bud. Thank you. That's appreciated. Well, there are a few geeks of us in there, so if you've ever got a geek question, we'll always try and help. I mean, the Discord is mostly for this. But that being said, you can see that the community is a nice little community. The ones that play on a regular basis, even if they're always telling me off for things. But certainly I can, if you join the Discord, then I can send you across the details. I'll send you some screenshots to explain how I'm doing it. And it isn't that difficult to do. Even when I get into base, I could have a look at my settings and tell you, and I'd happily do that. I just probably not what I'm running back with on this server with a 16. Right then, will Mr. Bear come to visit? That is the question. Because this is a bear spawn area. I see I've received a message. I'm guessing that's from yourself. I'm not sure. When I get home, when I get back to base, I'll have a look. Thank you. No, I can see you've got a Z in your user profile. Or Z for, yeah, Z or, yeah. Z or Z, depending on where you are in the world. But let's get myself home. Then we can sort our lives out. Yes, I'm Z, Z. No rush. Thank you. That's massively appreciated. Quite a few of the players that were playing this server, they came from console. And this was their, not their first, but one of their first servers to play after console. Which is quite a hard place to start after console because of the amount of nerfing we do and how I have zombies blow up with gas inside them and grenades and such like. But they've stayed. I think because it doesn't feel too modded, maybe. You know, we have a weapons pack. Yes, and there are one-tappers on here. But because everything spawns in ruin, 556 is a one-tapper. It's... So I think my player base quite enjoy what I do. They like the harder but not impossible servers, maybe. Is a way of putting it. Oh, bugger. Where is he? My bears also have a buff that they run towards gunfire. Because they're hungry. As I said before, my barbed wire cuts players, because it should do. Yeah, he's your friend, isn't he? So what I'll do, family, is after the stream, I'll send you screenshots of my OBS settings, so you can see how I do the 4K. Because it won't let me get into all the settings while I'm streaming. Yeah, there's less of them around this wipe. I've kept it as stock because we added in so much other stuff that I didn't want it to cause errors on the server. Balancing act for all the lag all the time. You know, as I said before, I think every time you add a mod in, it's using up FPS. So if you suddenly start increasing the likelihood of bears spawning, and bears, unfortunately, in BI code, drink FPS more than any other animal. So they're the worst animal, the worst AI entity in DAYZ is the bear. Just what it is, I suppose. I think 4 years ago, maybe, I ran a server where we did a winter server and we put the bears in every town. Because it was winter and they had no food left, so they'd moved to towns to eat. We had players spawn outside towns, but they'd go into the town and they'd be like, there's a bear in the middle of the town. Yeah, it's winter. Yeah, but there's a bear in the town. Yeah, it's winter. Yeah. So I'm kinder now. Kinder in inverted commas. I know I need water, but I think we've got a water bottle at home that's got water in. I'm not sure the quality of that water, but we've got purification tablets, so that solved that problem. And we're also using up a lot more water because of the distance we've run and the amount of weight we're carrying. And we'll need food when we get home. Actually, if it hasn't gone off, we've got some boiled fish, which will cover that problem. Also quite impressive, we've got a scope, a nice scope. First time I've ever on any wipe in the 6 years I've been playing DayZ lived down here. I really love the spot. I don't like how you've got high ground looking at you. but the spot's really nice. Do we have that there? I'm not sure of the purity level though. I'm just going to sort some loot out a second, guys, before we decide on our next little run. We've got about half an hour before I'll need to log out, because I've got an early start. So I need to drop some clothing off in here, if possible. Fire lighting in here. Got a spare bandage, so I can go with meds. So if we take the 16 out with us, do we have something else that will fit the 16? Or do I have a mag? Do I have a suppressor for it to start with? No. Do I have a suppressor for the other variant of it? Where did it put that first one? There we are. No, but we'll take this variant because this one does. Does the other one do full auto? Burst might be alright. Let's drop the other 16 off. Or the M4, sorry, platform. Do I have AR-15 mags? I do. Excellent. So take that one out. Pop that one on. And anywhere to put these mags? No. There'll do. Dope can go down here. Anywhere for the gas? There, it'll go there. That's sorted. Let's drop some of these mags off. So we've got a Scar mag, which is nice. Start. 30 round 5.45. There we go. The other 5.56 mag we'll take. We'll drop off the 7.62. That's good. We need some more 2.2 ammo. We'll sort that out now. Water bottle. That one will stay home. That one's going with me. That's solved. That one's staying home. That dealt with. Eat the rest of that. Delete the map marker. We go directly north, hit that, then that, then that, and then this area. That might be enough to find some metal if we're very, very lucky. So we're going to take the 16 pistol. Drop the pen off. We can't risk losing it. Drop the spare 2.2 off. Good. Drop that weapon off. It's going with the other ones. I don't think we've got anywhere normal to put that one. So we can go here for the moment. That one. Okay. That across in that across. I need another stack of bandages. Is that something left floating? Oh, it's a can of drink, isn't it? That doesn't despawn for 20 minutes. They're disinfected. They're disinfected, ready to go. That's sorted. Let's eat another fish. We're going to compass up. So I reckon northeast should take me. I reckon due north. Due north will bring me up when I cross the road, then switch northeast, and I should hit roughly the outskirts of that. Search that, then push in. We've got no swipe card to get into the rifle range, so that we can forget. This is not worth it for metal. This might be. We shall see. Ready to go. Weapons clean. Mag is alright. They are damaged, but we can live with that. Right then, let's do it. Bring anything important with me. Vape needs filling. Did that inhale. There was no juice, just hot, awful tasting air. Here we go. Pretty good. Bringing us to where we want it to. So I said, guys, about another 15 minutes and then I'll be logging. Because I've got a 6 AM alarm set and it's 9 PM now coming up to. By the time I've sorted my life out a little bit, made sure my uniform's pressed for the morning. When I'll be wearing British multicam for the day. I'm doing lessons. Joy. We only need 20 sheets of metal. Do not like that hunting stand. It's a bitch of a place for one. Be a good place to build here though, wouldn't it? Maybe next wipe when we got the new buildy mechanic in, if it works. This would be a nice flat area to build a stockade. Always worries me when there's no loot around in those little things. But I remember that I've got such a nerf that you're never going to get loot in every spot. Then we have gas running right round the outside of the boundary to stop people going out there unless they're fully NBC'd. Because as many times as you write in the rules and say do not use debug, people will take no notice if they think it gives them an advantage. So do not use debug. Oh, you can't. The radar station is not perfect for what we want, but push past the radar station, that might work. Another good place to build a base. Take over the radar station. You might have to put 2 flags down to do it. One at one end and one at the other. Like this corner and that far corner, potentially. You'd want to be doing some serious building to do it, but it'd be a hell of a building to own. Make one hell of a clan base. Yeah, one hell of a clan base would be good. Right, where are we? We are there. So, what is windy when it's at home? Don't like going to Tissy. Not my natural visiting location. Right. This is just to do the industrial. Not overly... Well, industrial and a rucksack would be good. Bit of plate, but plate's hard to find on here. Always wanted to build in one of those as well. Never yet got round to it. Way in. Without going through the main entrance. Don't come to Tissy enough to know all the ways in. I think it'd make a hell of a base, this building. Nobody needs 45 ACP in their life. Wrench, don't need that. Someone's been through because everything's open, not just some. So someone's been in the area. First problem accomplished. New rucksack. Slight upgrade. Thanks for the hearts, guys. On my servers, these are worth visiting sometimes. That's worth it, that's not. Doing this tactically, guys, because I'm solo. I'm not a great PvPer. Old with arthritis makes it an issue. So I play a game that's PvP focused. Because hey, I like a risk. Just gonna flank a little bit. Come around this corner and that will drop us into this area. So we've left out this. So the rifle range on here has been updated, but you need a Livonia punch card to get into the rifle range. But Restless has been in there and it's a good upgrade. It's a really good upgrade. As he said, it's like a maze in there. Industrial that I want. I think I'm following Monkey again round the map. I was the other day, though, wasn't I? But someone's been through, because there's so many doors open. When it's just one or two, it's random on a restart. But when there's this many open, it makes you think, doesn't it? Where to put it. Right, guys, I think we're going to push for home and probably call it a night. Yeah, things are starting to blow up now. We got a dragon off out of that. A slight upgrade to the rucksack. We'll still bring our old rucksack home, so we've got a spare one should one of Meal Chuckles die. Now we'll make like a gazelle and get home as quickly as our little legs will carry us. We've got some more guns. Happy with the dragon off. Always happy with the dragon off. Now I just need the dragon off scope and I'm really happy. A little bit of 7.62 flying down the range is not a bad answer to anyone's problems. But we'll soon be back home. It's not been bad. I mean, we did 6 hours this morning on stream. We've done 2.5 hours this evening. So it's a pretty good day of streaming. There'll be more next weekend because next weekend I'll do a longer Saturday and a long Sunday as well. And then the following weekend I'm away all weekend, so there'll be nothing off in soldier mode. And then we'll be into November, which is a busy month for me. And then middle of December I go on leave for 3 weeks. So a lot of streaming. And server building. Because we're switching servers, so we're going from where we are now to a new host, which will have better specs and cheaper than what I currently pay. Will allow us to offer probably a 60 slot server. well, we would allow us to do 127 slots if I wanted to do it, but there's no point. This would suit a 60 slot server. I know. Yeah, we're right there. Party time. I do recognise that people see a 30 slot server and go, ah, it's a hobby server. Whereas once you hit the 60 mark, people go, okay. But equally, you need people playing it. But if we had 8, 9, 10 people playing a 60 slot server, others will join. It's whether... we'll certainly keep it a duo, but whether we make it trio. And I need to put that to the vote, because it's not... well, I need to have a conversation with people. I don't always want to put it to the vote, but I need to know whether people will leave if I switch to a trio. Because I recognise that it makes it harder for solos. But there's so many trios out there that like playing servers, that are used to it. And I realise you could go to unlimited sizes, but trio seems to be the most popular DayZ size for a server. And it would mean that, you know, Cookie could join myself and Chuckles, or he could join Mark. Gurmit could join us. But it depends on the rest of them, because we've got players on here that will always play solo. Loot is too nerf for duo, trio, even. Okay, so we'll keep it as duo then. That's fine. Thanks, Mark. I didn't know you were lurking away in the background. I don't want to unnerf it any further. It needs to be... I don't want to add any more loot in, otherwise it starts becoming vanilla. But I think there's loads of loot around. But if I go on vanilla now, it feels like it's boosted. Because I've been playing this now so much that vanilla just feels like boosted loot. Nerf, nerf, nerf. I'm with you, Monkey. But you nerf too far, well, you'll be the only player on here. And it's an expensive project for one person. Yeah. Right, guys, thank you for watching tonight. It's been emotional. Thanks for the 2 subs. That's been amazing. Up to 702. The road to 1,000 is getting closer. Guns are a loads. Maybe 2 little tools, but everything else is fine. Guns are a difficult one to handle. Everyone keeps asking me about guns, why there's so many, and it's really difficult to get the gun balance right, because at the moment I have like 1 of each gun spawning in, with a massive gap between, like, so many seconds. It waits like an hour before spawning a new one somewhere, but still there's too many guns because we don't have enough players picking them up. So if you run into Tissy, there's guns everywhere because no one else is going there on a regular basis. And I can't solve that, unfortunately. Yeah. So either you allow people to carry give them massive rucksacks so they can fill with loot, and then it's shit, because it ain't survival. And then they'll carry all the guns home with them. But by forcing players to triple carry, because you can't get a gun in the other slots. Oh, it went down there, did it? There we go. Chocolate, I brought you a present home. I brought you a VSD. So I thought you might like one. But thanks for watching, guys. I won't be on in the morning. I'm working tomorrow. I might be on tomorrow evening, but highly unlikely. Otherwise, I will catch you probably Friday, maybe Monday. As I said, thanks for watching. Remember, if you have a goblin in your sight,